So again, with this machine, you also have to change the oil after 5 hours.
Okay.
Okay. The oil for this machine comes out over here.
The first 5 hours of usage.
After you use it for 5 hours, you take this bolt out, and the oil will drain out.
Okay. Do I need to use something?
Yeah, it's I believe it's a 7/16 wrench.
Okay.
And then so the oil drains out here, and you fill it here. There's no filter on these.
Okay.
Okay. And you need to do that once a year. After you do the first 5 hours, you do that once a year as well.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty much it. With these, we suggest using ethanol-free gas in these too.
Okay. Yes, I was told. So you open this up, drain it, and then what do you do with this?
That's where your dipstick is and where you add oil. This is where you check it, and that's where you add oil if you need it.
Okay. And how much oil do you need to put in there?
These take about a quart, but I would just start with half a quart and add a little bit and check it, and add a little bit and check it, and add a little bit and check it until you get up to that full line like on the other one.
So it's the same with the other one?
You see where it says H? That's high. That's where you want it.
By this line?
Yep, the top line.
Okay. And what kind of oil do you put in there?
These take 5W30. It's a lighter weight, a thinner oil, because in the winter the oil gets thick because it gets cold. So you want something that's thinner and lighter.
So is this already filled up with that kind of oil?
That has the right oil in it now. Yeah.
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, the oil you won't have to worry about. It's just the fuel. We couldn't put fuel into it now because it can cause some damage to it.
So ethanol free.
Yeah.
And that's I don't. So when I go to the gas station, do I say, hey, where's the ethanol free?
Yeah, some places have it, some don't. You have to look around and find the ones that have it.
I know there's one over here that I was told by the owner of Lawn.
They have it over there.
Yes, over here somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, then just go ask them where it is, and yep. So this has electric start.
Okay.
And so you have to get an extension cord, and you plug the extension cord, the female end, into here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And then you plug it in. It should be about an 8-foot extension cord.
Okay.
Or less.
8-foot extension cord or less.
8 or less feet. Yes.
Why, if it's longer?
The longer it is, the more the voltage drops.
Oh.
And it's not good for the start.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then this is your throttle. Just like that with that one over there. Whenever you're blowing snow, you want it at the rabbit. You want it on full throttle. You want it moving as fast as possible.
Okay.
Okay. And then when you're ready to turn it off, you bring this over and that kills it. It's stop.
Okay.
Okay. This is your key. But the key, in my opinion, should just be left in.
Okay.
If it's not all the way in, it will not run.
Okay.
You want to make sure if it won't start for some reason, you push that and make sure that's in.
Okay.
This is your choke.
Okay.
Just like that has. Except this is the choke here is separate from the throttle.
Okay.
Over there, it's on the same one. Remember?
Yes.
Okay. So over here is choke. This is run.
Okay.
This is a primer, and this is what. If it hasn't been running in a while, you just pump this a few times and spray some fuel into the carburetor.
How many pumps do you do?
3 or 4.
Okay.
And then you choke it and then you start it.
So you choke it first before starting it?
Yes.
So
these is cold when you're using them, so you almost always have to choke them.
So choking is putting it this way?
This way here is choke.
Okay.
And then once it starts and it's running and it's warming up, you're gonna want to slowly move it over so that it's on the run position.
So how do you start again? So
you have the extension cord.
Extension cord, which is 8 to 10 feet.
Yep. And then you get this set, so you're gonna push the choke on. You're gonna throttle. And then you're gonna hit this button right here.
Throttle is the rabbit.
Yes.
And then
press full throttle.
And then
you're gonna hit this button.
Okay.
And you don't want to hold that button down for more than 2 to 3 seconds at a time. Okay.
So just 1 second.
Yeah, two or three at the most. And if it doesn't start, just let it go. Maybe you need to turn the choke off. And then you try it again.
Okay.
And it should start at that point.
I see. Why do you need to choke it?
Why?
Yes.
because it starts. The engines start better when they're cold, if they have less air and more fuel. So when you're choking it, by moving this over, you're closing off the carburetor, so not as much air gets through.
Okay.
So it has more fuel.
Okay.
So as it'll start fine that way, and as it starts to begin to warm up, it's going to start starving for air. It's going to start choking out.
Okay.
So that's when you want to bring this over, and you're giving it a little bit more air.
Okay.
And you keep just gradually bringing it over until it runs smoothly with the choke turned off.
I see. So you take out the choke while it's running by slowly doing it that way.
Bringing it towards your to the center of the machine.
Oh. And then from there.
Now you have it running. You have the throttle up.
Okay.
I'll get that. And then also when it gets to be the time of year, I'll take it. When it gets to be the time of year to use this, call us. And when we're in the area, I'll stop by and go over it again with you.
Sure.
Okay?
What's your name again?
I'm Dwayne.
Dwayne. Okay.
Yeah. And yours is?
Joe.
Joe. Okay. So now that you've got it running, you determine by how much you have to figure this out by trial and error.
Okay.
How fast you want the ground speed to be. How
Okay.
fast you want the tires to move.
Okay.
Okay. If you got 6 inches of really heavy snow,
Okay. When you say heavy, like wet?
wet, yeah,
Okay.
wet, heavy. Or if it's really light, fluffy,
Uh-huh.
you can probably go high speed, 4 or 5.
Okay.
But you'll determine that by how the machine reacts when it hits the snow. So you're gonna first thing you're gonna do is you choose the speed you want to go.
Okay.
You choose the direction you want the snow to go.
Okay.
So what you do to do that is you push this button. You see how that goes down? And you're gonna use your palm and push it down.
Okay.
Use your fingertip
Mm-hmm.
and hold it, and then you can move it left, right, and then forward and back for the distance, how far you want it to go.
Okay.
Okay? So we want to blow it out into the yard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get the auger going, which is what actually blows the snow.
The auger, you said?
It's called the auger. Yeah, this whole mechanism in here, and this back here is your high-speed fan.
Okay.
This stuff draws the snow in.
Okay.
It gets pushed back into this, and this is the fan that spans really fast and blows it out of the top.
Okay.
So you want to have that going before you hit the snow. You don't want to cram a bunch of snow into it and then try to start it.
Okay.
You want to have it already going when you hit the snow.
Okay.
So you're going to move your hand down like that.
Okay.
Okay. Now the auger or the blower is now moving.
Okay.
It's ready. So now you want to start moving forward.
Okay.
That's when you bring this down. That's ground speed. Okay. So now you're blowing snow and you're moving, right?
Uh-huh.
You need to suddenly you see, okay, if I keep blowing snow that direction, I'm going to blow snow at the neighbor's car. So I need to stop and change the direction of the snow. You can let go with your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
Your left hand locks that right hand. So that way you can still be moving and blowing snow, and you have a free hand to grab this and change directions you're blowing without stopping.
So you can let go of this one, but this one.
This one locks them both.
Okay. So if you want to change the direction and you keep it on like this.
Yep.
Hold it, and then you.
And then with your right hand, you grab this and with your palm it down, fingertip, and then you can control the way you want to change it without ever having to really stop.
Okay.
It's really convenient. This is actually patented, I believe, by Toro.
And how do you stop it?
You stop it by letting go.
Oh, I see.
That won't. Now the only thing that won't stop is the engine will remain running.
Okay.
So once you let go and you stop, the engine's still running. You bring this switch over to this off.
Okay.
To the stop, and it turns the engine off. Now you're done.
And you said that if it's fluffy snow, make it as fast as you can.
Well, you just have to kind of gauge it by how well the machine's handling the snow.
But if it's an easy snow, like
if it's an easy snow, you can probably try it in as fast as you can go. And if the machine's handling it, blowing it fine. But if you notice the machine, you can hear it kind of bogging down, and it's not wanting to work as well. And maybe you want to bring it back 1 or 2 notches, slow it down so it's not so much effort for the machine.
What if it's just 1 or 2 inches of snow? What do you do?
1 or 2 inches of snow, I'd go full speed.
If it's 6 to 8 inches of snow,
I'd go, depending on the weight of the snow, you know, 3, it just depends. It's really hard for me to say.
Okay.
You're just gonna have to practice and try it.
Okay.
That's gonna be something, you'll figure that out.
Okay.
Trust me.
And what is this?
Those are the original blades that came with the machine, this lawnmower. Since you got a mulch kit, you got mulching blades.
I see.
If you ever decide to take that mulch kit off,
Okay.
you're gonna put these blades on.
Okay. Yeah. I need to mow tomorrow.
Yeah, you better before your neighbor gets upset.
Yes.
Where you want me to put these?
I'll just put it over there. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I need to? Is there any cleaning over here?
I mean, the main thing you want to do with this is once you have this turned off, you know, once you're done blowing snow, I would try to, and before you use it every time, make sure that, you see how that wiggles?
Yes.
You want to make sure that can move before you start
Like
blowing
that?
like this, yeah,
Okay.
just like that. Because what happens is, when you're blowing snow, and you finish, you put it inside the garage, right? And then the next morning, say we got a little bit of a warm day, let's say. So then the snow that's in there, if you don't get it out, it kind of melts, right? But then we get a really cold night. So that melted snow now has puddled into the bottom, and it has created ice. And so now this fan, which is a high-speed fan, is frozen solid to this, to the body of the machine, right? So now it's not able to wiggle.
I see.
Okay, if it doesn't wiggle, you have to get something to get that ice broken up.
I see. Can you put hot water in there?
I would suggest like maybe a little space heater or
like
a
the
hair dryer.
I see.
You know, a hair dryer, something. I use a screwdriver and just chip at it.
But I will damage that or
Yeah,
scratch it.
I have an old one, so I don't
see.
really care as much.
I see.
But a hair dryer would probably be the best thing.
Are they rust stainless or no? Once I nip
If you
this.
scratch it, it will rust.
I see.
And so another thing you can do to prevent that ice buildup is just put like some kind of lubricant. Even a cooking spray is what some of the old guys use, like a Pam cooking spray.
Oh yeah.
And put it in there, and that helps prevent ice from building up.
Oh really?
Just spray it in there once in a while. It coats it, and it keeps the ice from building up in there. So just make sure that you don't have ice built up before you go to use it.
Okay. And then wiggle it, make sure it's.
Yeah, and so when you're done using it, if you notice there's a bunch of snow built up in there, you know, clean it out a little bit. And that's what this is for. So this pops right off here like this.
Okay.
It's clean. This is made for cleaning the chute out if it gets clogged.
Okay.
Or you know, it's just a tool for cleaning it out.
Okay.
But you can use anything, whatever you got. And this just slips back in here.
And this one turns on automatically. The light.
The light runs whenever the machine's on. Yep.
I see.
And again, I would suggest, and we don't mind when it gets fall.
Yeah.
You know, when it's time right before it snows, or even as it's snowing, give us a call.
Yes, I will do
Say,
that.
hey, Dwayne said that he would stop back by and show me. And if Dave doesn't want to pay me to do it, I'll come out and do it anyway.
Okay. Thank you. But the guy promised me he's gonna take care of us as the new
Oh,
customers.
Yeah. He told me so.
Okay.
That's why he said, take your time, make sure that he's comfortable, he knows what he's doing. So that's what I'm doing.
So I'll call you, or do I call?
Just call the office.
Okay, the office.
Yep.
And
It's
look
a
for
small
you.
business. It's a small business. There's only like 9 of us, so it's kind of hard to confuse anybody, you know.
Okay.
So.
I guess that's about it.
I think so. I think you got it.
I hope so.
I think you do. And listen, this is what you do. If you have a problem tomorrow when you go to mow, call.
Okay.
And I will walk you through every step by step to get you to where you need to be. Okay. I'll give you. You want to take my cell number?
Sure.
Because I'm going to be in the truck.
Okay.
I'm not going to be in the office.
Oh.
So if you have an issue with it, you can just call me, and I'll answer my phone.
Okay, sure. Let me.
It will work, but it's not as good for it.
Okay.
Okay. So, first thing is, this is your key.
You
want to make sure your key is pushed in.
In.
Okay.
What do you mean in?
Well, you can pull it out.
Okay. Oh, I see.
And that disables the machine. Right now, it would not start. Okay. So then I just always leave it in.
Okay.
All the way in, okay? So now it's in. This is your primer. This is gonna spray a little bit of gas into the carburetor.
Okay.
And since this machine's never been run, or it hasn't since we sold it to you, we're gonna give it about 4 or 5 squirts.
Okay.
When you go to do this normally on a normal day after today, you'll just want to pump that 2 or 3 times when you go to start it. This is your choke.
Okay.
What this does is each engine needs a certain amount of air and a certain amount of fuel to run properly.
Okay.
Okay. So what you're doing when the engines are cold, they start better with less air and more fuel ratio.
Okay.
So what you're doing is you're closing. This is closing off the flap, not allowing as much air in.
Okay.
So once it starts, you want this over here ultimately before you start blowing snow with it.
Okay.
And this opens the flap up, allowing the correct amount of air into the engine.
Okay.
Got that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then this is your throttle.
Okay.
It's right here, and you want this all the way over to the rabbit when you're blowing snow.
Okay. Okay.
And this is also how you turn the machine off. When you're done blowing snow, you push it to the left.
To turn it off.
All the way to turn it off. Yep.
Okay.
So for now, we're gonna turn it back on. We're gonna make sure the key's in. We got it choked, and then we're gonna start it. So this, you plug into this. There, ready? Okay. And then you just. Okay, now. Back off. Controls with you, and then we'll just pull start it, and then we can actually run it before I go. Okay. So once you determine how fast you want to move outside, you go depending on how much snow there is.
Okay.
With this amount of snow, you can probably put this thing all the way up in 6.
Okay.
Okay. If you're going through it and you're not blowing it all, you're missing some, you can slow it down. This is how fast your ground speed is.
I see. So the higher the number, the faster you go.
The faster it moves, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Why do you want to go faster if it's less snow?
Well, because if it's less snow, you're able to move faster.
I see. Okay.
If it's a whole lot of snow, if you notice that you're kind of pushing the snow instead of blowing the snow, then you want to slow it down.
I see. What model is this? This one?
The model is a PowerMax 826OXE.
Okay.
So you can look up the manual online too. And so so let's just say we're gonna go with the fourth speed. I believe that's the 4th one there. Okay, so we're gonna get it started. This is the blower.
The blower.
This is it's called an auger, but it's the actual mechanism that blows the snow.
Okay.
So you want to get that going before you hit the snow.
Before you hit the snow.
Yeah, because you don't want to pack it full of snow and then try to start it.
Okay.
So you got this going now. Then you're going to pull this down. This is going to make your machine start to move.
Okay.
And now you're moving along and you're blowing snow.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you want to change the directions of the snow that you're blowing while you're still moving, you keep your left hand on.
Okay.
And that locks that right one.
Okay.
So you can be moving and blowing snow at the same time.
Oh.
And then your hand is free. So what you want to do is take the palm of your hand, put it on top of the blue, and use your fingertips to pull that down. Because right now it's locked.
Okay.
But what you do is you unlock it, and then that frees it up so you can control where the snow goes.
Okay.
Okay? So let's try it.
Okay.
I'll give you one demonstration, then I'll have you do it.
Okay.
Okay? So choke it again. anytime the engine has cooled all the way down, you want to prime it before you try to start it.
4 or 5 times.
2 to 3.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
So 5 hours, and then before you start, you choked it. Put this at the choke.
Yep. You bring the choke from the off to the choked position. That's choked.
And this one, move it to
And then
where the
put
rabbit
the throttle where the rabbit is.
is. Okay.